Hi guys, I'm Miss McCarthy. Welcome to trimester 3. I know that this is kind of a crazy time, but this is how we must be doing classes for right now. So, welcome. You'll get a video almost every day just telling you what you should be doing and what I expect for this class or for that day or even that week, because a lot of this class will be reading and discussing said reading and then taking quizzes and or tests of said reading, and also connected to the Google Classroom, which this video along with the daily schedule will be on the Google Classroom, which by now, the time that you see this video, you will already have that code. Alright, sorry for the pause guys. I got a phone call. Let's go on. Again, I'm Miss McCarthy, and this is our little introduction slide of me. So I'm Miss McCarthy. There's a nice picture of me. Obviously, it's a better picture than the video you're getting of me right now. I'm very sorry. And here is my email address. You can use that to contact me with any questions, concerns, anxieties. I know this online learning is going to be rough for all of us, and so we need to work together and just try to get through this for as long as we have to do this. If it's the full trimester, if it's a couple weeks, at this point, no one knows. Alright, so I have a Bachelor's of Arts in English from UW-Stevens Point. Some of you might be familiar with that school. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from here. I can usually make it there in an hour. I'm not going to tell you why. And then I have a Master's in Secondary Education from Grand Canyon University, which is the master's degree I was getting while also getting my teaching certification. So I did both at the same time, just in one fell swoop, and now I have that degree and that certification. My hobbies: love to write. Kind of stereotypical, I know, of an English teacher, but I do love to write, and I'm currently working on a novella, which is a shorter novel. And then I love to read everything, but my favorite book series is the Harry Potter series. I grew up with it. The movies, the books, I grew up with both, and it's something that I will always enjoy, and I will always reread and rewatch all the movies, and I'm super nerdy about it. So, fun facts: I was born in Germany, and I have an older sister who was actually born in the Philippines, because both of our parents were in the Air Force for 20 years each. So we traveled around a lot. Mostly we grew up in Missouri, but I was born in Germany, and my sister, who's 4 years older, was born in the Philippines, which is really cool. I have a cat named Minion. You'll see her right here. She is pretty much the thing I come home to every day, which is great because I love her to death. But I call her Minnie because she was the runt of the litter. But I named her Minion because I really loved those yellow minions from Despicable Me. When I got her about 5 years ago, I was really obsessed with them, so she got that name. And like I said, I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd. I'm a Slytherin, if any of you are familiar with the houses. And then you'll see a picture of me. This is right after I got my bachelor's degree. My family and I went to Florida, and we went to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Disney World, and it was just a great experience. And that's a picture of me in front of a half version of the Hogwarts Express with the conductor. Really fun. So that's the introduction. Okay, so expectations. You'll see this link and you can go back to it. This is the syllabus. Whenever it loads, you'll see the syllabus. Alright, so this is my instruction information. You can contact me here. Obviously my office hours are a bit different because we're not in school, so you can pretty much contact me anytime. Though I will be setting up official office hours, the times that I will definitely be right next to my computer, and I can help you with certain things, but we'll get that sorted out in the next couple of days. So that is that. This is technically 5th period, but obviously you'll be doing these courses in any order you want because you're at home right now. Course description. Oral and interpersonal communication is designed to develop speaking and listening skill and strategies. So while it seems like a speech class, and you will be doing a couple speeches here and there, seeing as though we're online, this is going to be a little different. I probably will have you record yourself because all your laptops come with a video recorder, so you should be able to do that. Or I'll be having you write speeches just for extra activities. But mostly it's about learning about communications, oral and interpersonal communications. It's a theory class more than it is a speech class. But it will help you with your confidence, hopefully. And if we don't have this full trimester here online, you'll definitely have the experience of standing up in front of your classes, or in front of your classmates, and doing a speech. The major speech, however, is going to be a group project. If we're still online, however, at the end, that's obviously going to have to be adjusted, and group projects will be a little more difficult to do, but I think we can do it together. Because that's the joys of the internet. You guys can always communicate with each other. So that is what you'll be doing, and if we're back in school by then, which crossing fingers, because that'll make it a lot easier to do these projects and have classwork together, then you'll at least have a friend or peer next to you, so it won't be as nerve-wracking as you think. So all of you who are stressed about giving speeches, don't worry, you're not really going to be giving speeches, and when you do, it'll be with groups. So take a deep breath. We're going to get through this together. It'll be fun, I promise. So I'm not going to go through all of this because you can read this on your own time, and I have other things to get to. And this is already going to be a really long-winded video, so I don't want to bore you guys with all of this. But you'll see that the credits are 0.75 for the Green Bay Area School District, and it's an ELA credit, but for NWTC, you will get 3 credits. So D or F grades will go on NWTC student transcripts as audit. So you have to get higher than that to actually get those credits. So this is a class that you really have to try for. It can't be where you're turning everything in at the last minute. Late grades will not be accepted by NWTC. They might be accepted by Green Bay School District as a grade, but the NWTC does not count late work, and their late policy is a lot stricter than ours. So make sure you know that. The textbook, which hopefully you guys have already gone to the school to get. If not, I think they've probably sent you emails of when you can collect it. Hopefully by the time you see this video, there's still times to go and collect it from the school library. It's looking out and looking in. Go to the librarian, she'll know exactly what you're asking for. And then supplies, paper, folder, binder, pen, pencil. Pretty much your computer is going to get you through this. So I wouldn't really see any needs for this, especially while we're online. The textbook is the main thing because that is what you will be doing quizzes and tests on. So you need to read that, and I will also be presenting. I'll be doing the video presenting just like I'm doing now. But that does not mean that you don't have to read the chapters, because I will not go over everything, and these tests are a good chunk of your grade. Scrolling through this. Okay, so like I said, textbook quizzes. You'll have at least, I know it says expected number of times 4, but you're pretty much going to get more than 4. Probably around 7. And then there'll be about 25 points each, 200 points total out of your huge 1,000 point total for this class, and then 20% of your grade. That's a pretty good chunk, guys. And then writing assignments, which will be sort of like your journal entries, which you'll see on Google Classroom. And those will be 6% of your grade. Activities on top of that, anything that we do in class or over computer via class, that'll be 24% of your grade. And then of course the presentations, which this is a bit different actually of what you'll be doing, so please ignore this, honestly. That's not, we'll be doing the introduction one, and then you'll be doing kind of like a symposium for them, but these aren't really going to be things you're doing. They're going to be more activities, so change that here. And then 45%, that'll be more of that big group final presentation, but also a few other things that you'll be doing. So this is kind of an older version of it. I don't have the newer version, I am sorry, so this is kind of confusing. But like I said, we'll get through this together. So NWTC dual credit grade scale, this is what I'm talking about. You have to have an A through a C to be able to get those 3 credits, or it's just going to consider an audit and you won't get those 3 credits. And you want those 3 credits. Because that's pretty much 3 free credits that you do not have to pay for. It's really worth it. You're saving so much money by doing this and passing the class. And like I said, kind of ignore this part. This, we'll still be kind of going through this as talking about the theory of it, but this is still a lot like the setup for when this was a speech course. Alright, so this is when it kind of gets a little long-winded. Please stay with me. I know this is kind of boring, and I'll try not to read every single word, because like I said, you have connections to this. You saw me clicking on these links right here, so you have access to this for more information. So I already introduced myself. Usually our class is in room 322, but seeing as though we don't know if that's ever going to be our classroom for the rest of the trimester, and my home office might be our classroom for the next few weeks or for the rest of the trimester, we'll find out. Hours are a little different, but if you really need to talk to me right away directly, email me like a day before and say, hey, at this time, can I email you and can we talk, or can we Google Hangout or whatever, so if you want like a face-to-face meeting with me, or can I call you, or something that if you need me to walk you through something, you'll have to make that appointment so that I am ready for your call, or to talk with you via Hangout or via email, and you want direct contact. You have to contact me at least 24 hours beforehand so I am ready and I have you scheduled. Alright? So, course description. Oral and interpersonal communication is designed to develop speaking and listening skill and strategies. Students will investigate communication models, develop and understanding of perception, and practice public address techniques. Students will write and deliver a speech employing speaking techniques and managing perception. Students will examine nonverbal communication and its effect on speaker and listener. So, again, this is sounding a lot like a speech class, but seeing as though this has changed a lot, it's not as speechy class-oriented as you think. So please don't stress out about thinking that you're going to have to be doing these speeches, especially because we don't know if we're even going to be back in the classroom to do speeches. So if I even have you do the little activity speeches, it'll be probably recorded a lot like what I am doing here. Or just, your face is doing the speech, not the screen share, which I have. So I'm just going to skip through that. Again, textbook, looking out, looking in. You can find that at the LMC. If any of you, for any reason, cannot make it in to get the book, though I highly recommend it, I will probably at one point soon be scanning them in once I get access to my own textbook, which will be Monday, the 23rd, when we are allowed into the school for a little bit. The staff, I'm not sure if you guys are allowed in at that point. And I will be grabbing a lot of materials from my classroom and from the library so that we can make this online schooling transition work as best as possible. I'm not really going to go through the competencies. You guys can do that. Student responsibilities. Follow the school rules. You know how that is. Obviously, this is a lot different, but you're still expected to turn in quality work and unplagiarized work on top of that, and just do your best to complete all the assignments at a timely manner. And of course, NWTC requires you to do that a lot more efficiently than if you were in a normal Green Bay school. So please start turning your schoolwork on time if you are not usually one to be prompt about those things. Remember, late policy for NWTC is a lot stricter and your grade will be affected by it. So attendance, participation, employability skills. Obviously attendance is going to be a lot different. Participation is going to be a lot different. But your employability skills are going to be pretty much the same, and you will be doing a activity of sorts, which will be an employability skills kind of document sort of thing. These are the skills: communicate effectively, work cooperatively and professionally, think critically and creatively, solve problems effectively, value individual differences,